Alright, so I've got 2 pieces which are 3 by 5 and I've got 1 piece which is 5 by 2. And I've just cut a piece of 12 by 12. I just want to roughly put them on there. We're going to make the box the same as we made the thread box the other day. I've got some art glitter glue in here. Okay, and we're just going to fold our paper. Okay, so that's the start of our little garden, which is going to keep our flowers in. And I've got 2 pieces which are, I believe, 3 by 2. Yep, 3 by 2. And then we want the paper to go this way, because as long as we've got the top covered, for it to sit in here. Okay, so I am going to glue this onto our paper. And we're not going to see the sides or the bottom, it's just as long as the top's covered, that's all that really matters. And then trim any that's hanging over the edge. Okay, do the same with the next piece. Right, so these are going to go on here like this. Okay, it's going to just go in like that. So glue, just don't want any paper getting in the way. So glue down here, here, and the bottom as well. And I'm not going to bother putting it in here because we're not going to see it anyway, okay? It's going to be hidden with our flowers and our dry foam. So you wanted something, oh, I knew. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can turn this paper around because I've cut that way too short. That's better. So we just want this to stick. So I think we're going to do our flowers last. We're going to do the back and stuff. So now what I'm using now, this is matte board from Sizzix. I'll show you it. And you can cut it, score it, use your dies. It will cut with finlets, but you might have to run it through a few times. And the reason I'm going to use it is because it's really like I say, you can score it and fold it and bend it. So this is going to be the back of our little window box thing, like this. And what I've done is I've got this window die. You don't have to use a window die, you could just cut 4 little rectangles out or just cut it with a craft knife. I'm using this because I have it, and obviously my window is going to be somewhere there, but I need to cut them out. But before we do that, this is 5 by 7 1/4. I want this to be my paper, and I want it on the front and the back first. So I'm going to glue, this is the same measurement, 7 1/4 by 5. Now what I'm going to do is I want it something like this. So I'm going to want my window about here, okay? So I'm just going to get a pencil and I'm just going to mark where I want the window. I'll try and do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm lining it up where I would be gluing it. Just make sure it's straight. Doesn't look very straight to me at the minute. Try it this way. Yeah, it's better. So I'm going to have my window about here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just keep it still, and then I'm going to, with a pencil, I'm going to draw these little squares out. And I know that is where I need to cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it with a craft knife. I mean, the window is going to go over, so as long as we just basically have the rough, you know, because what we could do, yeah, we could actually just cut 2 long pieces, you know, instead of 4, but I think I'll just try and cut the 4. And it's hard to see because this paper is foiled, but I'm going to try. Okay, so I've cut it out, and what I've done is I have stuck a little bit of acetate on one of the windows on the back, and then in the little box I've just glued some of the dry florist's foam. Okay, I've just put little scrap pieces in. I probably shouldn't have, because I think I'm going to have to get a bit to go in there. I'll do that in a minute. So I'm going to glue one of the windows on, and I've just used the little Sizzix garden shed die, and I've just cut a little plant out, and I'm just going to glue it so it looks like it's just sitting in the windowsill on the inside. I'll just put a bit of glue on there. And then I'm just going to glue it in here so it just looks like it's sitting in the window. Like that. And then I'm going to glue this window on. Okay, and then I want to glue the other one on the other side, but I'm not going to bother with acetate because we've got some on already. And this will be the back of my little window box. There we go, and that's going to sit on there like that, which I think that looks really cute, because we're also going to put some little like curtains on the back as well. Now yeah, I think we'll do the curtains now. All I've took is just a bit of this lace, and I'm just gonna have it like that, so I'm probably just gonna guesstimate it for now. So I'll just cut a couple of pieces the same length. And what I was going to do was just tie them with a bit of ribbon. So I think what I'll have to do is glue them on the back. I could just have them hanging down like that, but I think I'm going to tie them. So I'm just going to tidy the tops up a bit. That one's okay. Just cut a bit more off this one. Okay, so I'm just going to glue them across the top, but I'm going to use this fabric tack because this is really good for material stuff. Got this little ribbon here. I'm just going to cut a bit off. I'm just going to kind of tie them so it looks like they're just little tie back curtains. see what that looks like. Yeah, that's quite pretty. And then what you can do as well is just put a bit of glue on the bottom and just glue it down so it's not flapping all over the place. Okay, so I'll do the same with the other and I'll be back. Okay, so there are the adorable little curtains and that's the back, so they look okay from the back too. So we need to glue this onto here now, okay? So it's just going to go flush. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back. Okay, there we go. Now I want to make like a little awning thing, so what I've done, I hope it's going to work, I've got a piece of that Sizzix mat board, which might be a bit big. The width won't, which is 5, but the length is 4 1/4 and it might be too big. And then I've got a piece of paper which is the same size. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue the paper on first. Right, so we'll glue this onto the mat board. Like this. Now what I'm going to do is I've just got a little border die here, okay, and I'm going to just run it through the die cut machine. Now I will have to run it through a few times for it to cut, just something like that. So if I'm just going to tape it down just with some low tack tape. And then I'm just going to pass this through a few times and I'll be straight back. Okay, so it was a disaster because what I had done was I shouldn't have glued the paper on first, because when I did and I scored and folded the mat board, it cracked the paper and then it wouldn't cut because the paper was adding to the thickness. So what I've had to do is cut another piece. It did cut, but as I said, I did have to run it through about 5 times back and forth, but it did cut it. Then I put it in the scoreboard and I scored it at 1/2 inch and I've just folded it. That's what I mean, you can fold it and it doesn't crack or anything. And then I've done the paper separately, so I will just glue that on the top and then it won't crack. And then the idea is this will then glue onto here, and this will be our little kind of awning thing. So that's how I've had to do it. So I'm just gonna fold this a bit more, so I don't want the awning to stick right out. I want it to slope down a bit, but I didn't just want to do it in card because I wanted it to be thicker. So I'm going to glue this on here. Under here, like that. And then I'm going to glue this on the back of here like this. Remember, it also hides the kind of scruffy bit of the top of the curtains. there we go, and then it's nice and rigid then, it's not just like a kind of, you know, floppy card. So this mat board is brilliant. That looks so pretty. So it's just a case now, I'm going to have to glue another piece of foam in, and then I'm going to start adding my little flowers. And what I've got is just a selection of just little pre-made, pre-bought, like, you know, little paper and foam roses and stuff. And I've got a little bit of moss left in case I need any. So I'm just going to get another bit of foam, of dry foam, to stick in there, and I'll come straight back. Okay, so we're going to do the flowers in now. I can't remember where I got up to with this video, but this is what we're going to do. It might have been the awning, I think. Anyway, so I'm basically probably just going to speed it up while I glue little flowers and things in. I think I am pretty happy with that, so that just looks adorable. And then for the bottom I have got some more of this Sizzix mat board. Love this stuff. 6 by 2 3/4. I've got some more paper which I've cut to 7 by 4.5. Basically I'm just going to glue this on here, and then I've got another piece which is just over 2.5 by 5 7/8, and that is going to go just over there to cover it, and it's just going to be for the bottom, that's all, just to make it look more tidy if it gets lifted up or whatever. Alright, turn it over, and this is going to get glued on, and that's going to be our little stand. So I am going to put hot glue so it's got a lovely little stand as well. Wouldn't that just make a beautiful gift? And then this is from the paper pad, just a little cuddle pot thing. I am going to pop this on the front. I think I'll just glue it on. Just going to pop that in the middle. And then if you want to write a message on the back, you can just put a piece of white card on. And then I got these beautiful little butterflies sent from a friend of mine, Tina, who is in my Facebook group. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue one on there. My finger. Right, so I think I am happy with that. That looks beautiful. And then the back is really tidy as well, really nicely finished, as is the underneath. And then it just stands up, and you could even excuse me, I suppose it would have to be quite bright, but you could maybe even put a little tea light behind it on night. It would look like it was all, you know, lit up inside. So yeah, love it. So I'll have all the info on my blog, the sizes and whatnot. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will be back again soon. So thanks for watching, take care, and bye for now.